I'm Vinny Shoreman and this is 10 Rounds with Dan Morley. One particular person that stands out for me is Andre Ward. Andre Ward, I'm a massive big fan of because he was not particularly fast, he was not particularly strong, but he did everything that you need just right. And he was never intimidated by anyone, namely people like Carl Froch, who's a very dangerous puncher, very good chin, and the way that he handled Sergei Kovalev, who at the time was an absolute killer. And I like what Andre Ward said when he said that Sergei thought that he had his own theme tune as he walked in the room. So being like the sort of the villain, so to speak, and Andre Ward took that as water off a duck's back. So Andre Ward sticks out for me. The benefit of working with a mind coach is, well, if you're not on your own side when you're in a boxing ring, it's very difficult. Not only have you got to contend with someone wanting to incapacitate you and beat you up or hit you or get you out and knock you out or whatever on points, but also you're trying to deal with what the corner's shouting with you and the crowd and the other opponents, corner team, etc. So what I do is I make the fighter hone focus to work on what their strengths are and to get them in a good place and to get them where they want to get. The very essence of it all for me is when Nigel Benn fought Gerald McClellan. Nigel Benn brought in Paul McHenry's hypnotherapist, but he brought him in because something outside of his boxing was causing him problems. However, when you go in the ring, sometimes you take everything with you or you take everything with your training. The benefit of it is to talk about that, move things out of the way and get you into a better place. I have seen amazing results and people that are underdogs become champions because of a different mindset. Wherever you go, you're always here. And mindset's the most important in any combat sport. One of the things that stops people being successful is when they have doubt, especially fighters, is admitting that they are scared or admitting that they are worried or admitting things that we don't really admit as combat athletes, whether it be a man or whether it be a woman. You need someone who's a confidant who will listen to you when you're not at your best and get you to another level when you are at your best. So it's providing you with emotional support. We all need emotional support. So when you're doubting yourself, find someone that's going to give you that confidence, or find someone that you can tell them what's actually really on your mind. If you're not being truthful to yourself and you're not being truthful when you are explaining what you're worried about, then how do you expect to get better? So the main thing is to find a confidant or find someone who's going to psychologically benefit you and help alongside your training with your coaches and etc. The one thing that I really, really stress if people want to work with me is I've got to get to know you first. I can't just tell you that A, B and C will work for you because D, E and F will work for somebody else. It's all about the individual. So my advice is when I'm working with fighters is, first of all, come and see me or any other therapist so we know what's going on, the workings of you. Everybody's different. So your motivation to be a champion or win a fight or whatever you want to do, everybody's completely different. So the main thing is, if you're going to work with someone like me, you have to make it part of your fight camp. Well, two fights stick out. I remember watching Gerald McClellan and Nigel Benn. The greatest fight, probably the fight I've watched the most over and over again, is Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, the first fight. That was the first time that I really sort of fell in love with boxing. Later on, Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, obviously on video. But yeah, Meldrick Taylor and Chavez sticks in my mind. But to pick two is difficult, but for me, the most probably emotional was the fight between Nigel Benn and Gerald McClellan. Confidence is key in life. So when you feel confident because you can look after yourself or you feel safe in environments that may feel unsavoury or a bit worrying, when you've got that confidence within yourself and you look better physically and you feel better physically, there's nothing better than combat sports, whether it be MMA, whether it be boxing, Thai boxing, or whatever martial art you choose. There is nothing better for you to feel physically and emotionally better in situations that may feel difficult, or just in everyday life where you just feel better about being yourself. As I mentioned, Andre Ward, I think he's fantastic. I like the way that he put things together now. He just made simple things so effective for him. I love Vasily Lomachenko. I was a huge fan of Meldrick Taylor. I was such a fan of Meldrick Taylor when he lost Cristano Espana. I cried. Not like tears, but a tear came out of my eye, but don't tell anyone. Pernell Whitaker, I loved. Sugar Ray Leonard. I love Sugar Ray Leonard so much that when I was watching his fight with Marvin Hagler, I know pretty much every single word that the commentators said and what Angelo Dundee said in the corner. Obviously, I've got a penchant for southpaws because I'm a southpaw too. There's so many. I think boxing's such a beautiful art and a noble sport that I could go on all day. I think great fighters are made because Thai boxing, MMA, whatever it is, jiu-jitsu, it's all about you learning an art, a sport. It's about you learning something. You can be tough, you can be strong. However, if you can't be disciplined enough to be skilled, then you're on a hiding to nothing, aren't you? So for me, I believe that fighters are made. Is there an intrinsic thing they have? They might have an intrinsic appetite to do well. They might have an intrinsic appetite to be competitive. That's fine. However, I think that all fighters have to learn the level of skill. Pain, sacrifice, and everything else comes with it. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to get anywhere. So it's a lot of being a success as being a fighter is an acceptance and a willingness to go where other people won't. My favourite thing about boxing is I go to an amateur club called Holmes Chapel, which is just across the road from me. It's literally 3 minutes from my house. And I also train at a gym called Derby Lane in Liverpool. My favourite is I get a memory from every single one, because for me, it's the training, it's the people, it's the ambience, the smells, the noises, the effort. I've got so many memories in boxing that every week I go, every day that I am able to go boxing, even at my age, I'm 54 in September. Even at that age, I'm creating memories all the time. So to pick one particular one would be very difficult.